O'clock. So, welcome everyone to the new release info session. My name is Lola Keskikallio, and I work as a NetSuite consultant here at Greenstep. And today in the studio, I have my colleague Elina Kyllönen. Hi, Elina.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Perfect. And before we start the real topics of today, I would still like to remind everyone that please send your questions. You can insert your questions to the question and answer section, and you should be able to see it on your screen on your right. And we will go through these questions in the end of the webinar. Also, I would like to remind everyone that this webinar is being recorded, so you will be able to watch it later on as well. All right, let's go into the topics of today. So, as many of you might know, NetSuite is upgraded 2 times a year. And like you can see from the picture, NetSuite categorizes customers into 3 phases. So the first phase it started in August, and that's when some of the customers were already upgraded. The second phase, it has been now going on during September. So now we have other group of customers upgrading, and then most of the customers will be upgraded in October, beginning, middle, end of October. And if your upgrade date is now still in October and you still want to order the release preview, please do it as soon as possible. So the release preview environment, it should be ordered about 2 to 3 weeks before your actual upgrade date. And then you will be able to test the new enhancements that NetSuite has been doing, and also you will have everything that you need for your testing. So please remember to order it if you still need it. Here on the next page, we can see a good reminder about the release portlet. So here in the release portlet, you can see useful information related to the new release. And if you don't see it at your moment in your NetSuite homepage, please add it. You can add it when you go to your homepage, and again on the right-hand side where it says personalize, you can click on that and then you can just add the new release portlet. And here in the portlet, you can, for example, see your release notes. So the same notes that we are going through as well. You can see some hot picks from NetSuite side. So some blogs that NetSuite has been maybe writing about their own favorites. And then, of course, you can also see a template for testing plan if that is something you need. And also then you are able to access the release preview environment from this portlet as well. And again, if you need a release preview, just ask your administrator and they can then order it to your environment. Here now on the next page, we can see a snapshot of these release notes. This time the notes were about 70 pages, and very small in the picture you can see that it's already version 11, and the notes were actually still updated yesterday. So our team has been busy, and now in the following slides, we will show you our hot takes, our hot topics about this release. So let's check them out. Let's dive in. First of all, we have some administration updates. The first update has to do with saved searches. So all saved searches that contain HTML code in formula text fields should be replaced with a new field. And the new field is called formula HTML. And this has to be done in all environments. If you have saved searches with these HTML codes, they will not work as preferred after the new release. So please do the updates. And if you need some help with the updates, you can always contact your own NetSuite team or our service desk from servicedesk@greenstep.fi. Next, we have a reminder about the end of support for SMS and voice call for two-factor authentication. So in the last release, it was informed that this SMS and voice call is not supported for new users. And now in this release, NetSuite is now reminding us that support will end for all users. And this is from beginning of next year, March. Of course, this change is not yet in this release, but still, please do these changes as soon as possible. So if you have any existing users that are still using this SMS voice call for authentication, please remind them to change it as soon as possible. And users can do this from their own settings portlet, from their home dashboard, or the administrator can also reset these settings. And again, if you need some help with this, please feel free to contact our service desk as well. And next here, we have a new tool that NetSuite is now launching in this release. So the tool, it's called NetSuite Guided Learning Tool. And this new tool, it has guides, it has step-to-step instructions on how to operate in the system. These guides, they are available at the moment in over 20 languages, and you can access these guides from this small information button that will become visible in all the environments. Here in the first picture, you can see it on the right. So there's a small image there where it has like I for information. And when you click this, you will be able to access these new guides. And if you feel annoyed by this small icon, you can also hide it. So this new tool, it's visible to all environments by default, but you can also disable it. And this you can then do it from your own preferences. So here in the second picture, you can see your own preferences, and there it says enable Oracle guided learning. So when you clear this checkbox and save your settings, this small image will not be anymore visible to you. All right, let's go to the next page, and now I will give the platform to Elina. Please, Elina.
Thanks, Lola. Few words about the updates that NetSuite has made the CAS 360 Suite app. This Suite app was launched 1 year ago, so in the 2020.2 release, and we are highlighted the changes that NetSuite has now made to this Suite app. Basically, this Suite app lets you manage cash flow by providing a real-time view of your company's cash position, and it collects data from financial transactions in NetSuite. They are derived from the NetSuite's historic data per accounting categories, and also it is possible to create additional transactions, one-time or recurring transactions. The Suite app is available for free and for every one world accounts in NetSuite, and it is supported by all the NetSuite languages, but there is a limitation that the navigation menu and accounting category lists are only available in English. And by default, it is only available for NetSuite Classic and Accounting Centers. Then the other changes that they have made for the Suite app. 1 year ago, there was a limitation that the basis forecasts and reports were the values from the currently logged in user's subsidiary, and data from other subsidiaries weren't accessible. But nowadays, you can reach all active subsidiaries within your role restrictions, and also consolidation levels can be seen. Numbers were shown in currency of the user subsidiary, but nowadays the currency changes when you change the subsidiary or the reporting level. There is still a limitation that the preference settings and additional values that are entered manually are shared across users within the same subsidiary. So different persons can't have their own view to the dashboard, but it is spread within the users of the same subsidiary. And there is also limitation that you can only enter account categories and additional values for your own subsidiary. So even though, an example, a CFO would have a role that would have access to all subsidiaries, with that role you can't enter the manual values of forecasted transactions to the report to other subsidiaries that you own. Then about the dashboard visibility. When you install the Suite app, you can't see the dashboard anywhere if you're logged in as an administrator, so you can't find it from the global search or from any of the tabs. But there's a Suite answer that lets you know how to add the CAS 360 tab available for your centers. And then please note that when you create the tab and there's the instructions how to do it, it's pretty simple. But in the Suite answers, there is a mistake that the record that should be used is a CAS 360 redirect instead of instructed CAS 360. And when you want to add the visibility for other roles to the dashboard, you can do it on the role record by checking a checkbox CAS 360 access. And then a short demo how this looks in NetSuite at the moment and what were the changes. So basically you can download from the Suite apps, and when you type the CAS 360, you'll find the Suite app there, and then there's an install button available, and then it gets installed to you. The dashboard looks like this, and the values are coming from the balance sheet. There's a bank balance, accounts receivables, and accounts payables, and then they are derived to this chart based on the aging of the receivables and payables. And nowadays there is this drop down where you can select the subsidiary you want to look for, and when you change the subsidiary, then also the currency will get changed on the dashboard. So now these are not in euros anymore. And here you can see the AR aging and AP aging pie charts also. What is the limitation still there is this: when you go to preferences and you want to enter some account category movements, so you want to change the future values based on the P&L values at the moment. So for example, the sales will be the same, and some goods will increase with 10%. These values can be only set for your subsidiary. So for that subsidiary that is linked on your employee record and selected here as a subsidiary. So there is no way to enter those values to another subsidiary. And also the additional values, so the manual values that you want to set to the report, that there will be some dividend payments or capital expenditure or something like that, that has a huge impact on the cash flow, and you want to then enter to the report. These are only affected by your own subsidiary. So basically there should be a person per subsidiary who could do these manual things if those are needed. Then let's get back to the presentation. If you're interested in the Cash 360 Suite app, you can of course contact our service desk, and also Oracle gives us some Suite answers, so written instructions, and then a short demo of the Suite app is also available. Then back to you.
Thank you so much, Elina, for the nice presentation. So here was our highlights of this new release. And again, here you can see we want to remind about the Suite Ideas section. So this is our way to influence the new features. You can vote, you can make your own suggestions. And if you can't access this Suite Ideas portlet at the moment, please make sure that this role, NetSuite Support Center, is added to your employee record. So this is something that can be done by your administrator, or then of course you can also ask from our service desk as well. So that was our topics today. Thank you so much. Let's see if we have some questions. There's no questions, but we had a question beforehand. And this was actually a question to Elina now this time about the Cash 360 Suite app. The question was that where does the Cash 360 source the bank balance? Is the value from match bank data, or is it from the balance sheet balance of the account? And does it work, for example, if the environment is using zone reconcile?
Yes, so the bank balance is sourced from the balance sheet, so it doesn't matter which bank reconciliation tool you are using in NetSuite. But of course, you need to have the statements reconciled, hopefully on a daily basis, so that you have the most updated values on your balance sheet.
All right, thank you. So I still see there's no new questions coming in. So now we would like to thank you everyone for attending this release info session. Have a nice day.